Hey guys, Mikey B. It is 10:57 p.m. on Tuesday, November 22nd. I just wanted to shoot a quick video blog here, just basically stating my ideas on you are a product of your environment and how really that actually ties into your life. So if you think of the theory of evolution states that you're a product of your environment. Now, you're a product of your environment for the very simple fact that you need to survive. It's an evolutionary trait because you need to survive. Now, the fundamental difference between human beings and animals is that human beings, for the most part, have the ability to affect their environment, whereas other beings are shaped by it, and that's the only thing. They can only be affected by their environment. They cannot affect their environment. Now, the reason why this is important, if you think about it, for Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and then take that and apply that to a human being on the theory of evolution. The first two layers of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the triangle, are actually handled by society and your city. Now, the third level is getting into relationships, which is social dynamics. Now, if you think of where we are now and where we were years ago we had to fight for our survival. We had to packing around a weapon made sense because you needed to survive. Those first two layers of Maslow's hierarchy of needs were being threatened a lot more than they are now. Now, with the people in the present moment, in the present day, they don't need to pack around guns. At least for the most part. What we actually pack around are social skills. The reason why this is so important, though, too, because social skills allow us to interact with our environment. Everywhere we go, because our first two layers are actually fundamentally sealed, we don't need to worry about do we need to eat? Well, we go get a job. You know what I mean? Do I have security? Well, I live in a house or a condo or an apartment, whatever. You still have that essence of security. But where we have to grow, where those next levels are relationships. And that's why social dynamics make sense. For me, I know that my environment is very conducive. I can feel my environment, and I'm very affected by my environment. And something I'm working on is actually effectively changing my environment to what's conducive best, or what's the best conducive motion for me to go in as far as my environment stands. Now, if you think about a human being's environment is based on his social circle or her social circle. The rule that we go by is the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, the reason why it's you spend the most time with and not it's your best friends or your closest friends is because the people you spend the most time with are the people that you have the highest investment with. Those people, even you don't have to like them, or you could like them. It literally does not matter. You're being shaped by your environment regardless. So this is where I've chosen that the people that I do spend the most time with, as far as what is in my control right now, are people who I've chosen, who I know are conducive to growth for me, who are congruent with my perception of value. Now, you could actually argue too that the people that are in your environment and you're spending the most time with, it's also tied around the universal values of time plus energy. So the relationships that you actually invest the most energy in as well, those are going to be the relationships that end up actually investing back into you, right? If everything does work out, because the way that you want to work it, you want to be giving value freely to everybody. You want to be investing time and energy into everybody, but only on a surface level. Those relationships that actually end up investing back into you, those are the relationships that you want to develop. If you're giving value and you're giving out what you perceive as valuable, the relationships that actually you develop, like, and actually start returning value, are the ones who actually have the same values as you. So for you to be developing relationships with people that are like-minded and going in the same direction you are, like, that's social dynamics. That's a smart move. For me, I've just recently moved into a house with two of the most badass and dedicated people that I know. I was very, like, how do I say this? I was very shaped by my environment, and I was very drawn to the environment I'm in now. And each of these people, they're very different. They're like complete opposites in a lot of ways. But the difference is that, like, what really I enjoy is that these people work hard to actually bring the best out in me. And that's why, like, I can invest time, I can invest energy in these people. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you can actually live your life, right? You can live your life living, you've heard of this, living or dying, right? Well, I think there's also, like, growing or wasting away. I know that for me, growth is so valuable. I played a lot of video games growing up. And video games kind of shaped how I see the world, just because that's how, like, that's one of the skills that I've developed. Really not that useless, but, like, I have it, so why not use it? Now, I kind of see life as, like, a video game. And for me, I'm always trying to level my character up. I'm always trying to get experience points. And it's so funny because if you draw the parallels, like, video games are actually tied to how, like, you want to be living your life almost, except they want you to be living vicariously through the video game. Now, if I understand as one of the rules being of, like, this video game of life that we live in is you're a product of your environment, then I want to be spending the most time in the most badass, like, value conducive, like, inspirational environment that I can. And the reason why is that if I understand that I'm always trying to grow, I'm always trying to level up as a person and just, like, have a deeper passion and understanding of life, then I can't be in an environment that's not conducive to the value that I want. Now, I just feel that if you were yourself sitting in an environment right now and you realize that, like, those relationships in your life are actually not suitable for the value that you want to attain, you have to do something about it, right? You have to understand that those people are actually shaping you whether you like it or not. And it's kind of a hard thing to really level with, just because everybody kind of settles down into those comfort zones, right? And that's why it's so interesting that you can actually become whoever you want just based on who you surround yourself with. Who do millionaires hang out with? Other millionaires. Who do celebrities hang out with? Other celebrities. Who do fishermen hang out with? Other fishermen. Like, it's very, like, realistic. So you just have to, like, understand which social circle you want to penetrate and give those people what they perceive as valuable, and then you're creating an environment that's actually conducive to what you want. A lot of, like, things in my life are not exactly what I want them to be. So I put myself in this place, this environment that's, like, conducive to the value that I want. The other thing I really wanted to bring up is that it's not easy either. Day to day, it's so funny. Some days you'll feel awesome. Other days you'll be like, what the hell? But overall, you feel good. Because you're realizing, like, and this is why documentation is important, like writing a journal or whatever, is because you're always going up. You're always climbing up. Like, if you think of life as a ladder, and, like, each rung that you climb up, you're actually, like, going up in each lesson. Each lesson that you learn is like another rung in your ladder, and you just kind of keep climbing. And a lot of people because the lessons that they're learning are based on the value that they offer, they don't understand that they're, like, leveling up, even if, like, it's not in, like, an area that they think that they are. But either way, you just need to understand that life is based on relationships. And if you can understand the relationships in your life that are shaping you, you can shape yourself. And that's a very powerful tool. I'm going to get some more work done. I just wanted to shoot this really quick. Have a really good night.